Yo, what up? It's your boy Meek Melly, man. We in the trap house. You already know how we doing it, man. We stay in the motherfucking trap house doing what we do. Giving y'all the hottest music on the streets right now. Let's get it. Let's get it.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy S3 the Ghost, LOX B Block. Right now I'm trapping in the trap house, you know what I'm saying? You want to hear what's going down, want to hear the hot interviews, you want to hear the hot songs, you want to hear what's popping in the street, hit the trap house up. Ghost love the trap house. Big shout out to all my folks in the trap house. Salute, B Block.
Nigga, this is one gunplay Don Logan. I'm out of this world. Welcome to my motherfucking universe. I'm Jupiter Jack and I represent 2M's murder. Mayhem, millions, Maseratis, motherfucker making miracles. Money motivated, Miami material. And right now you tune in to the motherfucking trap house, nigga.
It's your boy Ellie Brother Dunn. I'm officially rocking with Trap House Rock Show. The VidLevel.com all day, every day. From the A-Town to North Cape to South Cape. From the Midwest to up north, down south, everywhere we rocking with it. Ellie Brother.
Yes, indeed. It's the Mix King, Ron G. And you're tuned into Trap House Rocks Radio with Miss LB and Z Numpstar. You heard?
What up, it's your boy Slim Thugger, and you're checking out Trap House Rock, man. Stay tuned.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Lil Lady Bone. Rocking out, man. Right here on the Trap House Rock radio station. Y'all know what it is. Bone Thug style, baby. Say what's happening, man? It's your boy Shout to L.O. Right now on Trap House Rocks. Yeah, you already know what it is. You know what I'm about. It's homie Mail checking in about that life, homie. And we riding out with Trap House Rock right now. Live and direct, man. Real recognize real. Let's get to it.
Alright, yep. It's your man Bill Dance, one half of the world's famous MOP firing squad. I'm not just in the building. I built this motherfucker and I know my way around. Now, we in the trap house.
MCA's in the house for the 93 shot. And it's supposed for the niggas.
You're tuned into the Trap House Rocks show.
Yes. We are back up in the building. You already know by hearing that song who just stepped in the building. We got MC8. What's good with you?
Yeah, what's cracking? It's all good, people. Yeah.
Legend just walked in the door, man. It's just a pleasure to have you. You know what I'm saying? All the listeners was just hounding me all day, ask him this, ask him that. I said, listen, if you make a little list, I might get to all those questions because they got a lot of I ain't. No, they was like, let me call it. No, I'm not gonna open the phone lines with MC8 in the building. So what's going on these days, man? Let's talk about Blue Stamp. Let's talk about that first. Blue Stamp Music Group.
Well, basically, you know, I've just been out here trying to grind, keep the traditional West Coast music alive, you know. So, you know, right now, you know, music doing what it do, you know, it go around in all kind of circles, you know. But a lot of fans was coming at me saying, you know, they wasn't hearing no traditional West Coast music, whatever. So after I got down with Kendrick on the Mad City joint, I decided to get with DJ Premier, and we started working on my Which Way Is West album with my label, Blue Stamp Music, and his label, Year Round Records. So we put out the Keep It Hood EP. I threw that out, you know, just to get something started, get it, you know, cracking.
Fire.
Blue Stamp was like, you know, one of the cuts on Keep It Hood, so that's how we made it official.
Yeah, we're gonna play that track for him tonight too. Let him hear a little taste of the Blue Stamp. Man, what producers are you working with right now?
Right now, I'm working with my man Marco Polo out of Canada. I'm working with DJ Premier. I got some stuff from Pete Rock. You know, my man Brink Sinatra from Austria. He's doing majority of production, but you know, everybody, I've been all over the board with it. It's going to be a good sound. I think everybody appreciates it.
Yeah. Now, I did have one question that a fan His name's Cizo Maserati. He wanted me to ask you this, and I think it's a very good question to ask you. He says, do you think that the West Coast gets the respect for their influence on the hip-hop music that was made like in the 80s and early 90s? Do you think that the West Coast gets the respect that they deserve for that influence on hip-hop?
I mean, I think we've had our influences, you know, to come from where we came from, where we started from as far as music is concerned, back from where hip-hop, you know, rap started back in the 70s with New York and all, you know, and then for it to come and transition in the late 80s with you know, the stuff we was putting out, you know, and then Easy first broke out with, you know, what you want to call what was West Coast music, but we had a lot of dance stuff, a lot of clubbish stuff, a lot of 808 type of music. So right. we've had our, you know, I think we've had an influential stand as far as hip hop in the years of concern. Like I said, we've had the NWA thing, we've had the, you know, the Death Row thing, the Tupac thing, you know, the Compton's Most Wanted thing with the movies, Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood, you know, Colors with Ice-T, and so it's parts in hip hop history that we've been influential to hip hop music, I think.
Yes, definitely. Now we've got Zenith Star in the building. I know he's got some questions for you. Where's Zenith? Did he leave? Okay, BK. We got BK in the building. Go ahead, see. I hear you breathing. Or is one of you? He's smoking, man. What you smoking on?
I'm smoking that. You already know.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, man. Like, to be in 2013 and motherfuckers really paying homage to a motherfucking great hip hop artist from the start. Like, when I think of EIHT, period, I think of a motherfucker who came in the game. You set trends by just doing what the fuck you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga ain't had no fucking costume or no. What we was talking about last week, LB, how motherfuckers be having the stylist and this, that, and the third. Like, everything about the brothers spoke. Like, that shit moved from east to west. You know what I mean? And speaking on that,
I think a lot of cats be wanting to get to certain positions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats don't be comfortable in their skin as far as who they are, as far as a hip hop identity is concerned. You know, I never tried to be anything than who I was as far as where I came from. I never got into hip hop to look like how I could become that next top pop 40 star. I mean, we all dream of, you know, making bread and living in a 30-bedroom mansion and whatever, but some paths ain't written for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got to grind 30 years before we get that prize. Some of us is born with silver spoons in our mouths. So I take it that some cats get in hip-hop game and they just don't feel comfortable with what they coming from or what they speak. So there comes the whole, you know, Hollywood label transition of, you know, let's get them a hairstylist and clothes and shoes and marketing this type of way because, let's face it, they aiming at a particular audience. Yes, they want him to come from whatever he started as or represented as to becoming something that they can market and sell. So me, when I got into the game, I started speaking on, you know, basically I traveled, I went around, you know, I was a young kid. I used to go to Florida, Mississippi, you know, down south, whatever. And when you go to different places, you see that cats live just like you live back at home in the hood. So I try to relate to all them cats, you know, the cats that ain't driving Bentleys and flying G4 planes and, like you said, got stylists and all that. I deal with cats that's just trying to keep it real and make music that cats can relate to on that type of basis. So it's always been a plus for me to maintain that type of situation in my music, you know, even though, you know, cats be like, oh, well, you know, Snoop is here and, you know, Cube and then Dre and, you know, but cats go to certain areas. I was just one of them cats who stuck with, rhyming about how grimy and greedy and hungry and how niggas struggle out here. So that's what's made me to be able to maintain for all these years in this game, because this is like a roller coaster ride. You can put out a song today, sell 2 million copies, and 6 months from now, cats don't even know who you are. That's how the game is today.
Yes, sir.
Well, one thing's for sure, MC8, is just, a legend, and still to this day making dope records. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We have legends come through here all the time, and I tell Zenith all the time, like, the music is 10 times better if you just take a fucking listen than what you're gonna hear out there these days. It's just incredible.
It's just maturity in music. You know what I'm saying? We know how we know the speech, we know the slang, we know the era of time that a lot of cats come from who know what good music is. That real music, it stopped a while ago, but if you grew up on good music from the late 80s to the late 90s, you know what good music is. Yeah. So, if you got artists that are still around, that are still generating that sound, of course they gonna still be winning, and you gonna fall in love with that sound. And then for these young new cats or these new fans who get to experience that, let them jump on board too, because it's good music. Like I said, right now, we come from the era where music ain't trendy. It's real music. Right about now, music is trendy. So that's why you hear today and gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, you also have to look at it like, the Menace to Society movie, of course, is one of the most major movies. You know what I'm saying? That these younger people, they know it. Because why? Right. Because we passed it along to their asses, and then they know it. Then they'll give a person that they see maybe in that movie a chance and listen to them. I mean, it's a blessing to have, that foundation right there. Just because
it's lucky that we can have. Yeah, it's lucky that we can go back to cult classics like that, like movies like The Warriors, or movies like Breaking, or movies like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, Colors. Because those are movies that really showed and depict our era of what type of struggle and what we was going to, trying to find our identity as how we was trying to make our mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Kids nowadays don't have that, because this is the age of iPods, YouTube, iTunes, Skype, SoundCloud, and whatever. So it's more accessible for them to see a lot more than what's real.
That's right.
Real shit. Real shit, man.
BK, we got BK in the building. BK, you got a question for MC8 or a comment?
Yeah, MC8. On another thing, let me get your take on it. We heard here in the trap a couple weeks ago that right now a lot of things going on in the game was really ideas that was kind of stole from the West Coast. Like with the gas and all that, 2 Chainz hollering that out. What's your take on that? You think a lot of things y'all started, the East Coast get credit for, or anything like that?
I mean, true. Rap music. How people take stuff, flip it, and try to recreate it to something new. I try to, back in the days we used to call it biting. Now it's cool. So I don't hate. We've done stuff on the West Coast that the East Coast has picked up. It's stuff that's been done on the East Coast that West Coast rappers have definitely done picked up on, vice versa. Yes, I just look at it. I try to take it as try to say like, they like what we do and we like what y'all do. That's just it in a nutshell. Period.
Yeah.
You can't hate when you create something and the world wants to do it or recreate it, but you just got to pay homage to it. And cats just need to recognize and start paying attention to who's crafted it or who started it or whatever you want to put title on it. I just say, like, respect where it came from, and then everything should be all good.
That's right.
Definitely,
that's right.
Definitely.
Great comment right there. Now, now I did have another question come in. It's kind of about an older situation, but I did have a question from Cuzzo. Hit me up today and was like, ask MC8, is him and DJ Quick cool now?
Oh yeah, we've been cool for years. You know, we done concerts together, hung out together. You know, so yeah, all that's been squashed, and you know that's like old news. But you know,
that's what I was
it's still something, like you said, it's still something that went down as one of them classics, like Kumo D, LL Cool J, and whoever else. So we've had our trends. We was known for battles. You know, we was known for beefs and rap music, whatever. But the thing is, you had to know how to take it, and you know when to calm it down and when to not let it take over you. And I think we was two rappers who, even though we came from the turf and he came from his side and I did, we just didn't try to let it interfere with cats getting seriously hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because when you deal with hip-hop music, people take it personally, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're from these streets and you representing the area, you know. It's not just you that's involved. It's everybody on your block or neighborhood or whatever who feels offended by situations. So you got to take it. You got to take it as it is. Like, music is music, you know. Whether it's true or false, it's music, and we got to take it as a tool that, you know, we just trying to school people and let them know what's really going down, and at the same time, let's bang some real shit, you know?
And we gotta let them know which way is west. You feel me?
Yeah, there you go.
You feel me? But gotta let them know which way is west. You heard me?
Say that.
Hey, MC, go ahead, Zeno.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You know me. I get started, man, because
we can't keep him too long. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, man. 8, like, he just one of them niggas. Like, when motherfuckers don't understand, I be trying to put him on the game. Like, I came from what I was exposed to in hip hop. It didn't matter what fucking region or city you was from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little ass kid banging that growing up in the hood. Like, it was motherfucking a nigga from New York or wherever. Like, this nigga was telling my story. No matter where if he was in Compton.
Oh yeah, that's music that we did. Like I said, I grew up on East Coast music. I listened to Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, and I grew up on Kumo D and the Treacherous 3, and EPMD was one of my favorites, and Eric B. and Rakim. And, you know, if you had good music, that's just what it was. It didn't matter if you was from Brooklyn or Compton or Inglewood or Staten Island, or if you had music that real dudes on the block who was hustling or in the struggle or stuck in jail, and you could relate, then you was they nigga.
Sure.
That's why anytime I came to New York and I was in the streets or went places, and motherfuckers be like, oh man, you that nigga, because you on some real shit. Like, you talk some real shit, not just on some, you know, we got big dollars and we ride low riders, and you be talking that struggle shit, like niggas trying to get paid, caught up in shit, baby mama drama and kids trying to eat, and I gotta do this because ain't no way out type of music, you know. So it's just to relate, it's just to try to, like I said, when I go places and I see cats in the projects, whether it's from New York, Chicago, down in Mississippi, LA, and we all doing the same shit, then y'all gonna like this music, because y'all gonna understand where I'm coming from, just point blank. So that's how I try to do it.
Well, now, go ahead, Z.
My shit is just to have the brother here and pay that homage, man. Like,
that's right.
A lot of motherfuckers look at me and be like, yo, you great at this, that, and the third. Like, y'all niggas son me, man. Like, it's certain artists that you get a piece of these people. That's what motherfuckers don't understand. Even when you become yourself as an artist, you done took a piece from this motherfucker, that you absorbed all that shit they was spitting. Niggas talking that same story you was living in, and that's how you evolve, man. And a lot of niggas get that twisted. You hear motherfuckers rapping, and you be like, oh, he sounds just like the motherfucker he listened to all the time. You know what I mean? And when we was coming up in hip-hop, you had 20 motherfuckers that you listened to, so it was impossible to just be rapping like one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real talk, man.
Right. You know? Yes, indeed. We had varieties back then.
Yes,
now it's kind of hard to choose from, because everybody is on some old, you know, everybody is on that trendy trying to get in, let me get in, let me cash in type. You know, let me cash in real quick and get out, you know. They don't know the real hustle. They don't know the real struggle of the hustle in the hip-hop game. And if you come from my era, you know how hip-hop music is a form of the struggle for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. For niggas that don't want to slang dope, for niggas that don't want to get caught up in bullshit, this is our way out. And so you got to relate to all them other cats out there that's going through what you going through. That's just it.
Yeah. ALB.
Yes.
ABK, like, without my last motherfucking statement is like, this some other shit niggas don't be realizing. It's like millions of hip hop records from the start of this shit to now. But it's only about 100 of them shits that define what the fuck hip hop is and what it's supposed to be, man. And I want to salute 8 for the joints you brought to the game early, and you know what I mean, for the monumental roles you played in the hip hop films that depicted our lives. Like, nigga, they ain't doing that shit no more. You feel me? Like, where's the Minister Societies? Where's the New Juice? Where's the Boys in the Hood? Where's these movies that show us how shit really be? You know what I mean? And
yeah, they want to show this unrealistic shit, like niggas planning $50 million bank robberies and shit like that, you know, knowing impossible feats and shit, but they don't want to show you that real shit because it's no way to cash in on it anymore.
They can't.
They cashed in on it already. Yes. It was already cashed in. So fuck the niggas who still here going through it. We cashed that check already. Now let's get these motherfuckers to puppet string and do something else for us.
That's right.
You get me? So it's none of that no more. But like I said, it's luckily that we still can go back and look at that type of situation and then school like the youngsters who really want to know or really want to be a part and really want some knowledge. You get to show them and go, hey, look how we had to, you know, they wilding out right now. They just crazy and they don't have no substance and know what to do. But when you stick to the type of format, like I said, I've been doing for years and years and years, then you can't go wrong with it. And like I said, like you said, you school cats who grow up to your type of music.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Now, MCA, you know, like I said before, I have legends come through here all the time, and I ask them the same question, and I'm going to ask you too. Okay? Now, down through the years, you know, you've been doing this a long time. Did you ever have any stalker fans?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Did they do anything crazy to you?
besides harassing, like, you meet people and, I mean, I said this the other day about a fan from back in the days. You would not think that motherfuckers act like that TV shit, you know, climbing your fences and all that. But there's some real crazy motherfuckers out here in the hip hop shit too. Because when you got somebody who ready to hop your back fence and show up where you be at and all that, that's some real stalker shit to me.
Yeah. Well, I just had to know, you know, because we've had people come through here and tell some crazy ass stories.
I have stories where, people be in your rooms waiting on your tour buses. People know where you gonna be at just on a regular, or you be in the grocery store and people get to, following you around and all. I mean, it's real stalkers out here, like TV movie shit.
Yes, we had one who wanted to sit in the corner naked and smell smell the artist's dirty clothes.
Yeah, see, that's some TV court, give me a restraining order type of shit.
Well, I had to ask you. Now, there was a two-part of that, but I don't know what MZ8's going to say to this one, but we're going to ask him right quick anyway before we get up out of here.
Man.
Now, if you're out there, this is the second part of it. If you're out there, if you were out there or now today, rocking out, thousands of people were out there in the audience, and a girl in the front throws her panties up there, and they land right on top of your head, and they smell like pure shit. What are you going to do?
Stop the show, point her out. I'm put the spotlight and bust her out, and maybe have somebody hand her a box of Tide or something in a bar of soap right there and let her know. She should keep them on and not be tossing them out nowhere. We're gonna set them on fire on stage and show everybody his natural gas.
Well, yeah, I figured it was gonna be something like that. Yeah, definitely MC8, man. Well,
For sure.
I tell you what, it's been a pleasure having you here tonight. You guys that's out there listening, you got to follow him 80 the number 08 on Twitter. You got to go follow him on Instagram, same 808. Google him, find him. You will find him, and look out.
Yeah, I'm all over. I'm on Facebook, 8 Compton, 808 on Twitter, 808 on Instagram. The new EP is out right now called Keep It Hood. The album, Which Way Is West, will be out this fall. DJ Premier, MC8, Which Way Is West, my man Frank Sinatra. It's all good. I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. Y'all keep it hood, keep that good West Coast music banging, just keep real hip-hop going, and that's all we need to do.